He opens at 4:30 when the city is still dark, and stacks the morning papers in the lamplight of the park. He knows his regulars by name and title and by page, the ones who want the crossword and the ones who want the rage. A man in a gray overcoat comes every single day. He buys 3 papers and says nothing and then walks away. The newsstand man knows which 3 and has them ready stacked, because a regular deserves to have his morning habit back. He sold a day to everyone who passed at 25 cents, each headline a beginning and each crossword a suspense. The newsstand at the corner of everything knew the score. That information is the gift that people always want more. He said he loved the Sundays best when papers double thick, when people slowed their walking and their reading became quick. They'd lean against the lamppost with the arts section and stay, as if the newsstand corner was the start of their whole day. The newsstand is gone now and the corner holds a phone, but the man who ran it left something in the stone. A sense that every morning is a thing worth understanding, and showing up with papers is a form of long-standing. He sold the day to everyone who passed at 25 cents, each headline a beginning and each crossword a suspense. The newsstand at the corner of everything knew the score. That information is the gift that people always want more. Roll the papers tightly and deliver them with care. The newsstand man knew morning was the most important share. He went into a burning building 6 times in 1 year, and each time someone told him there were books that need the clear. He says you save the people first without a moment's pause, but if the building's empty, then the pages have their cause. A library caught on a Thursday in the early fall. He got the night custodian out, and then he heard the hall, the sound of paper catching in a very specific way. And he went back in for the rarest shelf that day. He said you save the people first, and then the pages when you can, because a book that burns forever takes its knowledge from the plan. The fireman who rescued books believed what no one says, that some things lost in fire can't be replaced in other ways. He carried out a first folio, once from a private blaze, a copy of the Shakespeare that had lived through better days. The owner wept not for her house, but for the book he brought, and gave it to the library, which was everything it ought. He retired with a library of his own beside the door, of everything he'd rescued from the smoke and from the floor. Not for keeping, but for lending to whoever passed, because the books he saved from fire were always meant to last. He said, you save the people first and the pages when you can, because a book that burns forever takes its knowledge from the plan. The firemen who rescued books believed what no one says, that some things lost in fire can't be replaced in other ways. Save the people first and then the pages if you can. Some heroes carry people out and books into the plan.
She keeps a greenhouse on the northern edge of the estate, where she works in the early morning before it gets too late. Each plant she's cultivated has a name beside the pot, not the Latin name, but a person's name for all she's not. The tall one by the window is Margaret, who taught her how to read. The vine that spreads across the east wall is from an older seed. She named it for her sister, who went everything too young. And every morning when she waters it, she hums what was sung. A garden full of everyone she missed is what she grew. A greenhouse where the names of the beloved still come through. The botanist who named plants after people she had lost was building back the gone ones at whatever the green cost. She said that naming is a kind of keeping in the world, that something persists when a beloved name unfurls in the shape of something living in the light and in the water. A mother in the marigolds and a father in the border. The greenhouse has a visitor's day she holds in early May, when the neighborhood can come and see the garden on display. She tells each story carefully beside each name in bloom, and the greenhouse in the morning has no room for gloom. A garden full of everyone she missed is what she grew. A greenhouse where the names of the beloved still come through. The botanist who named plants after people she had lost was building back the gone ones at whatever the green cost. Plant something living for the ones you cannot hold today. The garden is the grammar of what love has left to say. She lines the windowsills with jars of different shapes and years, each one a particular rain from a particular sphere. April 1951, when everything felt new. September 54, when the horizon changed its blue. She doesn't share them readily, she shows them only when someone sits beside her who has lived inside the rain. She says this one is for the kind of grief that comes in waves, and this one is the rain that fell the day she misbehaves. She had a jar for every season's particular sorrow, and one for the unexplained feeling about tomorrow. The woman who collected rain was simply keeping track of all the skies above her and the skies that won't come back. A visitor once asked her if the rain all tastes the same. She opened one from 58 and said, not in the name of any ordinary thing I've tasted or I've held. Each rain has its own character, its own particular spell. When she passed away, they found the jar still lined and labeled true. Nobody knew exactly what the right thing was to do, so they put them in the garden and let the seasons have their say, and let the collected rain of 30 years return that way. She had a jar for every season's particular sorrow, and one for the unexplained feeling about tomorrow. The woman who collected rain was simply keeping track of all the skies above her and the skies that won't come back. Put a jar out on the sill and let the rain come in. The collector of rain knew sorrow is where beauty begins.
He ties his apron in the dark at 12 and lights the oven low. And by the time the city wakes, his loaves have an hour to go. He says the bread needs 4 full hours of the night to rise, because patience has a flavor and the dark makes better ties. The sourdough starter he has kept alive for 20 years. fed every night like someone who knows what it hears. He talks to it in low tones as he pours and folds the dough, because he says fermentation responds to being known. He said the best bread requires the dark and time and hand, a human presence in the silence that the yeast can understand. The baker who started at midnight knew what darkness gave. The bread that feeds the morning comes from what the night can save. A young baker asked him once, "What makes your bread taste like that?" He said, "Midnight honesty, I'm done with the diplomatic flat. I pour in everything I know and fold it into grain, and the bread becomes a record of the love I put inside the plane. By 5 the loaves are cooling on the rack in amber rose. The smell escapes the chimney and the neighborhood all knows. By 7 when the door opens, there's nothing left to sell, because midnight bread at morning is the thing that people tell. He said the best bread requires the dark and time and hand, a human presence in the silence that the yeast can understand. The baker who started at midnight knew what darkness gave. The bread that feeds the morning comes from what the night can save. Start at midnight if you want the morning to taste right. The baker knew the best things are the ones that need the night.
He drives the truck in October when the leaves are going gold, when the children are in school and the afternoons grow cold. Nobody orders ice cream in the October afternoon, but he drives the route with music, playing his familiar tune. He says the summer people think they're the ice cream type, but October is when the flavor of the year is ripe. The adults who are passing walk a little different then. They hear the music and remember being 10 and 10 again. He came back every year past the point of reason in the cold, and sold the October customers a flavor sweet and bold, because ice cream in the autumn is a philosophical thing. It says the cold is coming, but today we're savoring. A professor bought a double once in late November rain, and said this is the most absurd and beautiful thing plain, to eat a summer food inside an autumn coat and scarf is the closest I have come to being whole and half. By December, he is gone to wherever ice cream men go. But October hears his truck on certain streets below, and people pause mid-sentence at the music in the air and smile the kind of smile that means he was always there. He came back every year past the point of reason in the cold, and sold the October customers a flavor sweet and bold, because ice cream in the autumn is a philosophical thing. It says the cold is coming, but today we're savoring. Order one more scoop in October while you can. The ice cream man knows autumn better than most men.
He drives the truck in October when the leaves are going gold, when the children are in school and the afternoons grow cold. Nobody orders ice cream in the October afternoon, but he drives the route with music playing his familiar tune. He says the summer people think they're the ice cream type, but October is when the flavor of the year is ripe. The adults who are passing walk a little different then. They hear the music and remember being 10 and 10 again. He came back every year past the point of reason in the cold, and sold the October customers a flavor sweet and bold, because ice cream in the autumn is a philosophical thing. It says the cold is coming, but today we're savoring. A professor bought a double once in late November rain, and said this is the most absurd and beautiful thing plain, to eat a summer food inside an autumn coat and scarf is the closest I have come to being whole and half. By December he is gone to wherever ice cream men go, but October hears his truck on certain streets below, and people pause mid-sentence at the music in the air and smile the kind of smile that means he was always there. He came back every year past the point of reason in the cold, and sold the October customers a flavor sweet and bold, because ice cream in the autumn is a philosophical thing. It says the cold is coming, but today we're savoring. Order one more scoop in October while you can. The ice cream man knows autumn better than most men.
tucked it in on page 143 between the lines, where Fitzgerald says the light is green and all of time assigns a letter to nobody and nobody in particular, in the hope that someone beautiful might find it perpendicular. I wrote about the Tuesday when I saw you in the rain. You didn't see me seeing you, and I never saw again. I wrote it like a memory that needed to exist somewhere, even if the only place for it was in a book somewhere. Whoever finds this deserves to be loved, I wrote at the end, and signed it with the first name of someone else's friend. A love letter left in a library book travels further than most, from hand to hand to shelf, like a very quiet ghost. The librarian once told me that she finds them now and then, love notes, ticket stubs, and photographs of who knows when. She keeps them in a box behind the reference desk, as evidence that love was here and people at their best. I went back to the library to check if it was found. The page was clean, the book was there, the letter not around, which means someone took it with them, which is everything I hoped. That someone found a love note and with it learned to cope. Whoever finds this deserves to be loved, I wrote at the end, and signed it with the first name of someone else's friend. A love letter left in a library book travels further than most, from hand to shelf, like a very quiet ghost. Leave a letter somewhere beautiful before you close the book, because someone will find it who needed one to look.
Goes down to the river every night past 10, with his rod and his bucket and an old song, and then he sits beside the water with his lantern and his voice, sings to whatever swims below, out of personal choice. He said his grandfather taught him that the catfish like a hymn, and the bass respond to ballads if you sing them in the dim. He's never proved it scientifically, doesn't feel the need, because the singing is its own reward. regardless of the creed. He believed the fish came closer for the music in the dark, and he sang every night beside the river and the bark. The night fisherman who sang to the river understood that any singing done in earnest always comes to good. A biologist came down once with equipment and a pad to measure if the singing was the best fish theory had. She sat all night recording and went home to write it up, and simply titled it "The River Knows What Fills the Cup." He's past 80 now, but still goes down on nights that will allow a little slower settling in a different kind of vow. He sings the same 5 songs his grandfather handed him complete, and the river keeps on running like the rhythm of his beat. He believed the fish came closer for the music in the dark, and he sang every night beside the river and the bark. The night fisherman who sang to the river understood that any singing done in earnest always comes to good. Go down to the river in the night and let a song begin. The singing is the fishing, and the fishing pulls you in. The last guests check out on a Sunday in the fall, and the lobby holds a different kind of silence in the hall. He plays the Steinway anyway, because the contract's set through the end, and the luggage carts are his audience around the bend. He started here in June when the guests were thick and light, playing foxtrot and the standards every formal night. But autumn brought the slow ones and the waltzes and the mood, and now he plays for the emptying lobby and the solitude. He played waltzes for the luggage carts and chandeliers alone, because a pianist keeps his contract even past the known. The hotel pianist at the end of the season knew this art, that playing to an empty room is playing from the heart. The manager came in on the final Thursday of the year and stood beside the doorway and pretended not to hear. But after the last phrase he said, "That was the finest set." And the pianist smiled and said, "Thank you for not leaving yet." He packed his things in Wednesday and polished the Steinway keys, left a note inside the bench that said, "Play this if you please." A piece he'd written for the lobby in the falling light, for anyone who plays to an empty room at night. He played waltzes for the luggage carts and chandeliers alone, because a pianist keeps his contracts even past the known. The hotel pianist at the end of the season knew this art, that playing to an empty room is playing from the heart. Play the waltz in the empty lobby, let the season hear. The finest audiences are the rooms that are most clear. They say the fire started in the kitchen after close, when the saxophone player was packing up his clothes. The flames found the piano first, the way that fire does. Then everything that made the Roseland what it was. The records on the shelf above the bar went one by one, each title a small biography of someone's favorite run. Coltrane and Bill Evans and a lady singing blues. The fire took them all like it was taking something true. The music played one extra night inside the fire, they say. The records cracked and sang themselves before they burned away. The jazz club that burned down in '58 still plays in the memory of everyone who sat inside its haze. A trumpet player on the street outside said he could hear a song he'd never played before, but somehow held most dear. The fire department said it was the wooden beams at night, but the musicians knew a different story in the light. They built a parking lot upon the lot where it once stood, as if the only answer for a ruin is something good. But on the 1st of every January, someone leaves a flower pressed against the asphalt in the cold and quiet hour. The music played one extra night inside the fire, they say. The records cracked and sang themselves before they burned away. The jazz club that burned down in '58 still plays in the memory of everyone who sat inside its haze. Leave the flower on the asphalt, let the memory burn right. Some jazz clubs live forever in the ash and in the light. He works in a room no wider than a doorway left ajar, with thread and bone and leather and the smell of things that are. He takes the broken books that other people gave up on and stitches back the spines with care until the damage is gone. A woman brought her grandmother's recipe book in a box. The pages loose and brittle, and the cover off its locks. He worked on it for 3 full weeks before he said it's done. She held it like a newborn when she finally saw it run. He stitched the broken spines of other people's lives with needle, thread, and patience, and the quietest of drives. The bookbinder on the street behind the market always knew that fixing broken things was one of the most human things to do. He said a book is just a voice that someone said in page, a record of the thinking of a long ago age. When the binding breaks, the voice gets scattered on the floor. He just collects the pieces and makes the voice adore. His own books line the workroom floor to ceiling without name, a private collection that he's never tried to claim. He reads them in the evening by the light of something small, and every broken book he fixed is looking at the wall. He stitched the broken spines of other people's lives with needle, thread, and patience, and the quietest of drives. The bookbinder on the street behind the market always knew that fixing broken things was one of the most human things to do. Thread the needle one more time and stitch the spine with care. Some things become more beautiful
the more that people wear. She woke one morning in September with a silence inside. No note, no breath, no melody, however hard she tried. The doctor said 6 months and rest, and then we'll see again. She sat beside her piano and began to count to 10. The 6 months became 8, and then a year of listening alone to every song she'd ever sung in a voice no longer known. She learned the architecture of a song from the outside in, and understood the music from a place she'd never been. She sang differently after and better than before, because she'd been to the place where there was nothing to sing for. The jazz singer who lost her voice and found it again came back with something deeper than the note she'd left with them. The first night back she walked out in the amber of the spot, and everyone was silent for a moment that was not a silence of uncertainty, but of something like a prayer, because they'd heard about the year and they were glad she was there. She opened with a hymn she said, for the year that took my sound, for the silence that became the teacher and the holy ground. And when she hit the chorus of the second verse, she cried, not from sadness but from finding what she thought had died. She sang differently after and better than before, because she'd been to the place where there was nothing to sing for. The jazz singer who lost her voice and found it again came back with something deeper than the note she'd left with them. Let the silence be the teacher, let the lost become the song. Some voices find their greatest notes by getting it all wrong.
The last guest checkout on a Sunday in the fall, and the lobby holds a different kind of silence in the hall. He plays the Steinway anyway, because the contract said through the end. And the luggage carts are his audience around the bend. He started here in June, when the guests were thick and light, playing foxtrot and the standards every formal night. But autumn brought the slow ones and the waltzes and the mood, and now he plays for the emptying lobby and the solitude. He played waltzes for the luggage carts and chandeliers alone, because a pianist keeps his contract even past the known. The hotel pianist at the end of the season knew this art, that playing to an empty room is playing from the heart. The manager came in on the final Thursday of the year and stood beside the doorway and pretended not to hear. But after the last phrase he said that was the finest set. And the pianist smiled and said, "Thank you for not leaving yet." He packed his things in Wednesday and polished the Steinway keys, left a note inside the bench that said, "Play this if you please." A piece he'd written for the lobby in the falling light, for anyone who plays to an empty room at night. He played waltzes for the luggage carts and chandeliers alone, because a pianist keeps his contract even past the known. The hotel pianist at the end of the season knew this art, that playing to an empty room is playing from the heart. Play the waltz in the empty lobby, let the season hear. The finest audiences are the rooms that are most clear.
She watches from the reference desk the way a detective might, reading the posture of the browsers in the morning light. She knows the ones who are looking for distraction from a wound, and the ones who want a world that's nothing like the one they've found. She picks a book before you ask and puts it on the edge of the desk beside the catalog, as if on purpose ledge. And when you see it you can't say why, but it's the right one, because she read you in the aisle before the browsing's done. She found the book that found you, and that's how it was done. librarian who matched the person to the perfect one. She knew what you needed before you'd found the words to say, and shelved the world in order of what you'd need today. A man came in once angry, with no idea why. She put a novel on the desk and said, "Just give it a try." He came back in a month and said that book was my own story. She said, "I know." She smiled the smile of the unsaid category. She retires now in August, and the library sent flowers, but the books on the shelves remember all her patient hours. The spines still hold the system of her careful, thoughtful hand. A library arranged by who you're gonna be, not where you stand. She found the book that found you, and that's how it was done. A librarian who matched the person to the perfect one. She knew what you needed before you'd found the words to say, and shelved the world in order of what you'd need today. Let someone find the book for you, who knows the shelves and you. The librarian who found you knew exactly what was true.
October 1950, and the sky was the wrong kind. The Harbormaster wrote it in the log with his full mind. Wind out of the northeast and the barometric low, and 17 boats still in the water with nowhere to go. He called each captain personally on the harbor line, told them what the instruments were saying about the time. 3 came in by afternoon, and 2 said they'd be fine, and 12 went quiet on the radio somewhere past the 9. He wrote down everything he couldn't stop in the ledger bound, every name and every vessel and each desperate sound. The Harbormaster's log in the year of the great storm was the only honest record of the night that lost its form. He sat at the radio through the entire night alone, and heard the ones who checked in and the ones who didn't phone. By morning when the Coast Guard went, he had the numbers right. He gave them every detail of the terrible Friday night. The log still sits behind the glass in the maritime hall, open to the page where October held its fall. Visitors lean in to read the entries small and thin, the careful handwriting of a man who stayed within. He wrote down everything he couldn't stop in the ledger bound, every name and every vessel and each desperate sound. The Harbormasters log in the year of the great storm was the only honest record of the night that lost its form. Write down everything you witness with the hand that holds the pen. The Harbormaster knew the record outlasts mortal man. He opened up at 7 and he closed at what he felt, and never had a price list on the wall that he had dealt. If you came in and ordered, he would bring it to your place and say the coffee's free if you stay long enough for grace. Some people tried to leave cash on the table as they went. He'd pick it up and follow them outside to their descent. He'd say the conversation was the payment for the cup, and if you sat all day, you've more than made my morning up. He said, you pay me with the staying and the sitting and the word, with the 15 minutes extra and the story to be heard. The cafe owner who never charged for coffee understood that a business built on lingering is a very different good. The city sent an inspector once about the licensing fees. He sat and had a coffee and he couldn't quite find the disease in a business model built on generosity and time. So he paid the coffee with an hour and called that the fine. He closed the cafe in the end when his hands refused the pour, but the neighborhood still gathers on the sidewalk by the door. Each Tuesday morning someone leaves a thermos and a cup, because you pay him with the staying and it never quite adds up. He said, you pay me with the staying and the sitting and the word, with the 15 minutes extra and the story to be heard. The cafe owner who never charged for coffee understood that a business built on lingering is a very different good. Stay a little longer than you planned and pay him in your time. The cafe owner who never charged knew staying was the right. He sits beneath his canvas on the corner of the rain, with broken handles, bent ribs, and umbrellas of pain. He doesn't ask the story of how they came to break. He just picks up the pieces for the fixing's own sake. A woman came with 7 ribs snapped clean from a storm. He looked at her umbrella, said this one still has its form. He worked on it for 20 minutes, singing something low, and sent her off with something that forgot it used to know. He fixed what most people threw away without a thought, found the value in the broken that the modern world forgot. The umbrella mender at the corner of rain and grace gave the discarded things a second dignified place. He said umbrellas have a loyalty that people lack. Once they've kept you dry, they want the chance to come back. So take them to the mender when the wires start to bend, because a good umbrella is a very faithful friend. By evening he has 14 fixed and lined along his cart, each one a small restored decision of a life and heart. He wheels them back to where he lives above the corner store, and hangs them by the window till the rain comes back for more. He fixed what most people threw away without a thought, found the value in the broken that the modern world forgot. The umbrella mender at the corner of rain and grace gave the discarded things a second dignified place. Leave the broken things with someone who believes they're worth the time. The umbrella mender knows that most things can sublime. He built it in the winter of the year the war had ceased, a clock of brass and patience and a very careful piece. He wound it on a Tuesday, and he set the hands at noon, and 70 years later it is still inside the room. The secret was a weight he'd carved from something dense and true, a pendulum that measured out the grief he'd been put through. Each swing a half a second that he'd calibrated right, from everything he'd lost inside the long and recent night. He wound it once in 47, and that was that. A clock that held time honestly within its brass and back. The clockmaker who built one that never stopped to mourn was building something better from the years he'd worn and worn. His grandson asked him once, "How do you make a clock that lasts?" He said, "You pour into it everything you know of what has passed. You grieve it honestly and let the grief run like a gear. And something that begins in loss will hold for many a year." The clock is in the family home, on the mantle of the hall. It's been through 3 moves and a fire, and the falling of a wall. Each time they find it ticking still, its pendulum at ease, because grief well made is permanent and swings in any breeze. He wound it once in 47, and that was that. A clock that held time honestly within its brass and back. The clockmaker who built one that never stopped to mourn was building something better from the years he'd worn and worn. Set the pendulum in motion, let the grief become the gear. The clockmaker knew that sorrow is the engine of the year.
She woke one morning in September with a silence inside. No note, no breath, no melody, however hard she tried. The doctor said 6 months and rest, and then we'll see again. She sat beside her piano and began to count to 10. The 6 months became 8, and then a year of listening alone to every song she'd ever sung in a voice no longer known. She learned the acoustics of a song from the outside in, and understood the music from a place she'd never been. She sang differently after and better than before, because she'd been to the place where there was nothing to sing for. The jazz singer who lost her voice and found it again came back with something deeper than the note she'd left within. First night back she walked out in the amber of the spot, and everyone was silent for a moment that was not a silence of uncertainty, but of something like a prayer, because they'd heard about the year and they were glad she was there. She opened with a hymn, she said, for the year that took my sound, for the silence that became the teacher and the holy ground. And when she hit the chorus of the second verse, she cried, not from sadness but from finding what she thought had died. She sang differently after and better than before, because she'd been to the place where there was nothing to sing for. The jazz singer who lost her voice and found it again came back with something deeper than the note she left within. Let the silence be the teacher, let the loss become the song. Some voices find their greatest notes by getting it all wrong. She finished it on Thursday with the last of the lace, a dress of silken patience and an undeniable grace. The woman who had ordered it had picked the veil and ring, but Thursday came and Friday, and the door forgot to ring. She waited through the month and called the number twice, got only the long silence that precedes uncertain price. She hung the dress in velvet at the back of the long room, between her other finished work in its own private bloom. It was never picked up, and she never asked why, because the dress deserved more than a reason or a goodbye. The seamstress kept the wedding dress and let it just remain, a gown for no occasion and a love without a name. The dress became a kind of presence in the shop she ran, a reminder of the distance between woman and a plan. Young brides would sometimes see it and would ask her what it meant. She'd say some things are beautiful enough without the event. She left the shop to her daughter when her eyes began to go, and the dress was in the inventory as a thing to know. The daughter kept it also, and her daughter after that, a family heirloom that was nobody's, and all of that. It was never picked up, and she never asked why, because the dress deserved more than a reason or a goodbye. The seamstress kept the wedding dress and let it just remain, a gown for no occasion and a love without a name. velvet and let the story breathe. Some beautiful things only belong to those who leave.
He's been crossing since the year his father showed him how. The same stretch of brown water and the same familiar prow. Summer flood and winter freeze and everything between. The ferry boat captain has kept the crossing clean. Doesn't own a calendar, he works by light and need. When someone's on the other bank, he gets there at his speed. He brought a woman in her labor over in the night and delivered both sides safely by the lantern light. He said the river doesn't close on Sundays or in rain. The captain doesn't get to choose the crossing or the pain. He crosses because crossing is the only thing he knows, and the river keeps its schedule, and the captain always goes. They offered him a pension and a medal and a rest. He looked across the river with his hand upon his chest and said, the thing that keeps me is the opposite bank there, because as long as someone needs to cross, I need to care. He crossed at 81 with slightly slower hand, but everyone who knew the river also understood that some men are the crossing and the vessel and the shore, and retiring from the river is a thing you can't insure. He said the river doesn't close on Sundays or in rain. The captain doesn't get to choose the crossing or the pain. He crosses because crossing is the only thing he knows, and the river keeps its schedule, and the captain always goes. Take the ferry cross at dusk and watch the captain's hand. Some men are born to carry others to the other land. He came in through the side door of the chapel after Mass. When the congregation left their handprints on the glass, he'd set up in the transept and adjust the microphone and play to 40 empty pews completely on his own. He said the people in the seats distract the music's ear, that music needs a room with no agenda to appear. The empty church is honest, it will tell you if you're true, because no one's going to applaud a note that doesn't come through. He said the acoustics required an honest audience to play, and the only honest audience is a room that has nothing to say. The musician who played only in empty churches learned this thing, that the most important listener you have is the room's offering. A priest once heard him through the vestry wall and stood for 40 minutes listening the way a good man would. He never introduced himself, but left a note that read, your music filled the empty church with something holy said. He passed away in '64 inside one late at night. They found him at the organ with the last note in the light. The priest who wrote the note said at the service in the nave that the church was finally full of what the musician gave. He said the acoustics required an honest audience to play, and the only honest audience is a room that has nothing to say. The musician who played only in empty churches learned this thing, that the most important listener you have is the room's offering. Play the note in silence, let the empty room decide. The most important audience is the one you hold inside. He grinds the glass himself on the Rue des Artisans, with silver backing poured with patience and with plan.
He says the modern mirror gives a very certain light, a flatness and a brightness that doesn't ask you why. His mirrors have a warmth that comes from how they're made, a slight imperfection in the silver's laid that makes the face reflected look a little more its age, like a face seen by someone who has known you through a stage. He said a mirror should make you look like yourself and not the version of yourself that everything conspired to gut. The mirror maker of the rudest artisans made glass that showed the truth of people as the honest years would pass. A woman bought one for her daughter who had grown to think her face was wrong in every photograph and brink. She hung the mirror maker's work beside the morning light and said, for the first time I look exactly right. He's old now and his hands move with a careful, earned slow, but every mirror leaving the workshop has a glow that people say they notice more in certain evening light, when the mirror shows you something truer than the night. He said a mirror should make you look like yourself and not the version of yourself that everything conspired to gut. The mirror maker of the rudest artisans made glass that showed the truth of people as the honest years would pass. Find a mirror that makes you look like you've always been. The mirror maker, new reflection is a way to begin.
He comes around the measuring tape the way a doctor comes, with concentration in his eyes and something that he hums. He measures not just length and girth, but something harder still, the posture of ambition and the slope of the strong will. He made a suit for a young man who said he was a clerk, and gave him 3 inches extra in the shoulder for the work. He said, I'm fitting who you'll be in 4 years years from today. And sure enough, in 4 years, the young man found his way. He measured you by what you were becoming, not what you were, and stitched the suit accordingly with thread precise and sure. The tailor of the old quarter understood the body's plan, that cloth cuts best when cut for the future of a man. He said the measurements of yesterday make yesterday's suit. You'll wear it to the place you were and miss the alternate route. But if I measure who you're going to be in the fabric seam, you'll wear the suit into the future of your particular dream. He stitched for 60 years and every suit was one he kept in a ledger with the measurements and what each customer had stepped into afterward in life, as if the suit had made it real. Because sometimes what you're fitted for becomes what you can feel. He measured you by what you were becoming, not what you were, and stitched the suit accordingly with thread precise and sure. The tailor of the old quarter understood the body's plan, that cloth cuts best when cut for the future of a man. Let the tailor take your measure with a patient knowing eye. He sees in you the person that the cloth should satisfy. He went into a burning building 6 times in 1 year, and each time someone told him there were books that need the clear. He says you save the people first without a moment's pause, but if the building's empty, then the pages have their cause. A library caught on a Thursday in the early fall. He got the night custodian out, and then he heard the hall, the sound of paper catching in a very specific way. And he went back in for the rarest shelf that day. He said, you save the people first, and then the pages when you can, because a book that burns forever takes its knowledge from the plan. The fireman who rescued books believed what no one says, that some things lost in fire can't be replaced in other ways. He carried out a first folio once from a private blaze, a copy of the Shakespeare that had lived through better days. The owner wept not for her house, but for the book he brought, and gave it to the library, which was everything it ought. He retired with the library of his his own beside the door of everything he'd rescued from the smoke and from the floor, not for keeping but for lending to whoever passed, because the books he saved from fire were always meant to last. He said, you save the people first and then the pages when you can, because a book that burns forever takes its knowledge from the plan. The fireman who rescued books believed what no one says, that some things lost in fire can't be replaced in other ways. Save the people first and then the pages if you can. Some heroes carry people out and books into the plan. He came in through the side door of the chapel after Mass, when the congregation left their handprints on the glass. He'd set up in the transept and adjust the microphone, and played of 40 empty pews completely on his own. He said the people in the seats distract the music's ear, that music needs a room with no agenda to appear. The empty church is honest, it will tell you if you're true, because no one's going to applaud a note that doesn't come through. He said the acoustics required an honest audience to play, and the only honest audience is a room that has nothing to say. The musician who played only in empty churches learned this thing, that the most important listener you have is the room's offering. A priest once heard him through the vestry wall and stood for 40 minutes listening the way a good man would. He never introduced himself but left a note that read, your music filled the empty church with something holy said. He passed away in '64 inside one late at night. They found him at the organ with the last note in the light. The priest who wrote the note said at the service in the nave that the church was finally full of what the musician gave. He said the acoustics required an honest audience to play, and the only honest audience is a room
that has nothing to say. The musician who played only in empty churches learned this thing, that the most important listener you have is the room's offering. Play the note in silence, let the empty room decide. The most important audience is the one you hold inside.
She sits at the switchboard in the early light of day, a headset and 100 chords and everything to say. She patches calls from nowhere into somewhere and back, and listens for a half a second before she gives them track. A soldier called from overseas to speak with someone home. His mother on the other end had learned to be alone. She patched the call and held her breath and let the silence fill with everything a mother keeps inside a windowsill. Every call she patched was someone's everything, a proposal or a heartbreak or a very frightened ring. The telephone operator at the end of the world held all the conversations that were never quite unfurled. She memorized the voices of the ones who called too late, the ones who got no answer, and the ones who had to wait. She'd hum a little melody between the chords and rings, a private little requiem for all the missing things. They said automation was the future coming fast. She trained the machine herself and told it what she'd passed. But some connections need a human hand to make them true. A voice that says I'm here with you in everything you do. Every call she patched was someone's everything, a proposal or a heartbreak or a very frightened ring. The telephone operator at the end of the world held all the conversations that were never quite unfurled. Unplug the switchboard for the last time, close the cord and key. She carried all our voices into history.
He opens at 4:30 when the city is still dark, and stacks the morning papers in the lamplight of the park. He knows his regulars by name and title and by page, the ones who want the crossword and the ones who want the rage. A man in a gray overcoat comes every single day. He buys 3 papers and says nothing and then walks away. The newsstand man knows which 3 and has them ready stacked, because a regular deserves to have his morning habit back. He sold a day to everyone who passed at 25 cents, each headline a beginning.